Managing users in Linux. This is one of the essential needs and you must know. Do you want to learn Linux or do you want to become a hacker? Then watch this video until the end. Hello world, welcome to another part of Linux series for hacking. I remind you that with this series you will be able to do anything easily, including working with hacking tools. Before starting, if you like this content, to support me, subscribe to this channel and like this video and tell me your opinion in the comments. Well, we'll start this part by managing users and giving them different level of power. As always, we use our own Linux lab on this site. If you don't know what it is, go to the first part of this series to learn everything. Well, on this page, click on Start, then click on Interact. Let's go. All computer systems have users. Linux is the same. You know what? You are a user. To enter a system and do anything inside it, you must be a user. Now open the terminal. Well, it opens this shell for us. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to the previous video and learn everything. Now type who am I? And yes, this is you. And with this user title, you can do anything in the system, such as opening programs, playing games, hacking, create something, targeting something, and many other things. But you should also know that all users are not the same, and each user can have their own special power and their own permissions. Now let's create some users and learn everything with them. Type add user, black video, and press enter. What happened? It says that only the root user can create a user. Now what is the root user? Go back to the previous video and learn it. If you add sudo to the beginning of a command, you are asking Linux to do this for you. In fact, you tell Linux that you have this power. Now press enter the password, and you can enter or reject the rest as you like. Well, now black video is one of the users of your system. But how do we know that it exists? Where it is at all? If you use this command, you can access all system users. Type cat/etc/password. Boom, come to the end of this page. This is the user that was already on the system and you logged in with it, and this is the user that we just created. Well, we understood how users are found and we recognized them. But what is this X after the user? X is your password that hides Linux inside the shadow file, so that is inaccessible. Let me show you. Type sudo cat/etc/shadow. Well, what you see is your password, which is hashed version. We will talk about later. After X, you see two numbers that are the same. What are these? These are user IDs. The first number is the user ID or UID, and the second number is the group ID of these users. We will talk about the group later. Just know that when we create a user, a group is created along with it. Actually, when we created a black video user, a group with the same name was created. Well, the next thing you see here is the user's home directory, and after that, user's default shell. If you don't know what shell is, be sure to watch the previous video. This user's shell is bash. Now let's create another user. Type sudo user add antman and hit enter. It's created. Now you ask what happened to entering the password, full name, and other things. If you use user add when creating a user, it will automatically and quickly create the user. Now let's see if this is created. Type cat/etc/password. You see that antman is here, but you have to check two things. First, this X is here. It means that this user's password is in the shadow file, but you didn't enter a password. And secondly, the shell type of this user is also different. Now let's check the shadow file. Type sudo cat/etc/shadow. It's very interesting that nothing is saved in this file. Now let's give him a password. This is the command used to set a password for a user or change the password of that user. Type sudo password antman, and now you can enter password for this user. Another thing you should know is that this user doesn't have a home directory, and when you type cd/home, you will see that it only shows two users. Now I teach you something inside one of these users. If you type ls-al after entering your user, it will show you all the hidden files inside that user's file. What to do with antman now? New code. Type sudo usermod antman-shell/bin/bash. What is this code? We changed the shell of this user through the new user mode code. Now, if you type cat/etc/password again, you will see that bash is introduced as the shell of this user. Now, let's use this code and change the username. Sometimes antman is not really antman and it's powerroot. Type sudo usermod -l powerroot antman. We use -l to switch. Now, if we check cat/etc/password, we will see that the name has changed. Now, let's add a new user and teach you something good along with it. Type sudo user at batman -m. -m is used so that the user is not homeless and the home directory is considered for it. Now, after creating these users, let's go to the power and permissions they have. We have sudo to have power inside Linux. Sudo is derived from super user do. When we use this command, we are actually the root user and the boss. In this way, you can change all the settings and even delete them. In general, you have everything in your hands. Now a question arises here. This important command should only be given by the main user, and every user should not have access to this level of authority inside the system. It's absolutely true that every user cannot use these features. For example, Ant-Man can't. Now let's appear in the rule of Ant-Man. New code. Let me tell you first that if you type sudo -su, your user will be changed to the root user, which has all the necessary permissions. Well, now get out of it by typing exit or logout. We enter Ant-Man, type su-Ant-Man, enter the password, boom. Now we are Ant-Man. Now let's add a new user using this user. Type sudo user add Joker, that's my favorite. As you can see, this user is not allowed to use the sudo command. So if you want to give these permissions to a user, what should we do? There is a file in the Linux called sudoers that contains the keys that are allowed to the sudo. Let's go inside it and see what's going on. As I said in the previous videos, we used things like nano or vi to change a file inside Linux. Here the best way to use is vi. Enter logout, type sudo vi sudo and enter. Yes, we are in it. Calm down. What you see here shows who has what permissions. For example, root can use sudo, and below that you can see the power of sudo, which can do anything without entering a password. Isn't it dangerous? Now let's add a new user to the group of powerful users. Type black widow on the root and give it the permissions you want. We want to give all permissions to it, so type all equal all and that's it. Now press Ctrl C, then press Y and press enter. Now this user has all the powers of a root user. For example, you can add a new user into the system with it. Well, let's get her sister. Type sudo user add Yelena-m. Enter the password. Haha, it worked. Now let's do something new and delete a user from the system with this power. New code. Type sudo user del batman. Now if you go into our user list, you will see that Batman is gone. Now let's do another new and cool things and put the remaining users into a group so that we can easily manage them. New code. Type sudo group add sphinx. Boom, it's created. Where is the group now? Type cat/etc/group. Yes, our group is here. And about this group, you can see all the groups created with users. Now what if we want this group and all the users in it to have the power of sudo? Type sudo vi sudo and enter. Calm down. This sudo you see is a group. If you enter groups in the terminal, it will bring you all the groups, such as sudo. Under this sudo, type %sphinx and its permissions. All, no password, all. With this, we give permissions to the whole group to do anything without entering a password. Now let's add the users we want to have permissions to this group. Type sudo user app -ag sphinx black widow. -ag is actually add group. Then we add the name of the group and then the name of the users we want. Now type cat/etc/group. Here you are. Here you see Black Widow as a member of this group who is allowed to do everything. What if we don't want to be in this group? New code to remove user from group. Type sudo g password -d Black Widow sphinx. Well, this user was deleted from this group, and if you go here cat/etc/group, you will not see that user anymore. Now if we want to delete the group, what should we do? New code. Type sudo group del sphinx and the group is deleted. Remember that this command has nothing to do with the users and only deletes the group itself, and the users remain. Well, dear companions of the Sphinx channel, in this episode we learn one of the most important parts of Linux, which is one of the most important parts for becoming a professional in Linux and becoming a skilled hacker. Thank you for being with me until the end of this video. Don't forget that practice and repetition is the key to your success. Until the next video, keep cool and stay anonymous.